What the f? As I am sure you all know, 2B2T was updated to Minecraft version 1.19.4 on Monday the 14th of August. This update has been highly anticipated and hotly debated. Some players doubted whether the server would ever receive an update, while others found hope in the official 2B2T test server. Well, on Saturday the 12th of August, after a normal server restart, players noticed some new text on the tab menu stating that 2B2T would update on the following Monday. This generated a lot of hype, and the messages that 2B2T was finally updating from 1.12.2 to Minecraft 1.19.4 spread far and wide. I got pinged in some 2B2T related Discord servers where players were excited to share the news with their communities. From what I can tell, most people were excited for the update and the new content that the update would bring. On Monday the 14th of August, 2B2T went offline, and when it came back online, the server had indeed updated to Minecraft 1.19.4. Priority queue spiked to around 328 players, while normal queue spiked to around 738 players in length. Along with the server update came some changes and updates to the official 2b2t.org website. Here, Hausemaster, or whoever is in control of 2b2t, posted a new page containing a list of changes and new server rules. This was the beginning of so much server drama. This video is going to discuss all of the update drama, the changes the update brought, the new server rules, and then how Hausemaster reacted to all of this drama and the complaints from the community. I am your host Caleb, and welcome back to another episode of 2B2T News. It has taken me a while to write this script. The story has evolved quite a lot since I started writing. As of today, there are still open questions, so I would like to start by giving you a rundown of the initial changes that came with the update. To start, 2B2T is now running on Minecraft 1.19.4. Finally, thank you Hausemaster. The server render distance has been greatly increased, meaning you can now see much more terrain around you. Animal spawning was slightly broken, but thanks to the update they should now spawn correctly. Mob spawning has been completely reworked. Mob farms have now become a viable option, and they have become a core part of the current 2B2T meta. Phantoms have been entirely disabled, and I don't think anyone is complaining in their absence. The Ender Dragon has been reset. It is now once again possible to spawn the Ender Dragon using End Crystals. House also stated that all of the 2B2T related servers have been moved back to the east coast of America. This should improve ping for most players. Unfortunately, this has actually increased my ping. Major L for me, I guess. Map IDs are now hidden, and the update to Minecraft 1.19 means the map ID limit has been greatly increased from the previous limit of 32,000. 2B2T is now running on Folia. This is an extremely interesting and advanced piece of software that allows a large server to be split into several smaller servers or regions while preserving the look and feel of a regular server. This is an amazing progression in Minecraft server hosting, and it has some amazing benefits for servers like 2B2T. One major benefit Folia offers is when a player creates a lag machine with the intention of lagging out the server, they will only lag their own independent region. So the lag machine will not actually affect other players on the server. This software could also potentially allow more players to be online at one time without server lag. This is a very simple overview of what Folia is and what it does. If you want to read more on the topic, I have linked a great article in the video's credits below. Lastly, House has removed all priority queue bans. So all of the players who were banned from the priority queue, including my main account, can now once again purchase access to the foster queue system. I believe accounts that were banned for chargebacks may still be banned, but everyone else should now be able to buy a priority queue. Let's now take a look at some of the changes that turned the long-awaited update of 2B2T into such a clusterfuck. Imagine the following scenario. You are living in an old, run-down apartment, and your landlord offers to renovate your apartment for you, free of charge. This is great, right? Once the renovations are complete, you return home to notice that your computer and monitors are missing, your TV has been ripped off of the wall, and some of your other valuable items are missing. Would you still thank your landlord for the renovations? I certainly would not. With this in mind, let's take a look at what 2B2T players saw when they logged back onto 2B2T for the first time after the update. If you owned large quantities of any of the following items before the update, they were completely removed or almost completely removed after the update. Golden apples, golden carrots, and fireworks were reduced to stack sizes of 16, while ender pearls, chorus fruit, tipped arrows, shulker shells, XP bottles, enchanted golden apples, dragon eggs, diamond blocks, beacons, redstone blocks, slime blocks, observers, hoppers, droppers, pistons, sticky pistons, name tags, chests, enchanting tables, maps, item frames, nether stars, wither skulls, dragon heads, and various concrete blocks were reduced to 1. On top of that, end crystals, elytra, ender chests, and totems of undying were reduced to 0, effectively removing all previously duped items from the server. House stated the following with the update. Certain items have been removed or had their stack size reduced to 1 with the intention of players working to obtain these again. Duplicated items were responsible for the majority of the server's past problems, and to soften the future impact on 1.19 and later, they have been reduced or removed. This change sparked a lot of controversy throughout the community for two main reasons. While some players were upset about losing some of their in-game items, the majority of players were more upset about the precedent that this update set. In making these changes, House established a potentially risky precedent, essentially conveying the message that I, Hausemaster, retain control. If I deem an action unacceptable, I can eliminate it. This centralized control exerted by Hausemaster directly contradicts the true definition of anarchy. Players did not take to this kindly. The trust the 2B2T community had once placed in Hausemaster was shattered. A few people and even a few groups vowed to leave the server for good. And it makes total sense. Why would I as a 2B2T player invest my time in the server if Hausemaster can decide at any time that what I am doing is not acceptable and remove what I have done from the server? House also decided to delete chunks that had been rendered for less than a few seconds to reduce the size of 2B2T's world, which has now reached 23 terabytes in size. He claims that these chunks were generated with speed hacks and that these chunks added no value, only size to the server's world. While his argument made sense, it did not take into account how these chunks affect the server's gameplay. These chunks are used by a lot of players to hunt down bases and dupe stashes. Removing these chunk trails would remove all links to far out bases and stashes, making finding them nearly impossible. While some players appreciated the removal of chunk trails, a lot of players thought it was a step too far. In my opinion, allowing one person to decide what counts as server history is problematic. Hausemaster tried to remove all items with illegitimate values for durability, enchant, or stack size. Apparently the patch put in place did not work as intended, as some players posted screenshots of items with illegitimate values after the update. The server now has a modified vanilla terrain generator to hide the world seed and to prevent players from generating their own copy of the world. Historically, it has been possible to use exploits to find base coordinates through terrain in screenshots or videos. In theory, thanks to these changes, these exploits should no longer work. As a downside to these changes, you can no longer use tools like chunkbase.com, for example, to find biomes or structures like end cities. The anti-cheat has been updated, and it is planned to keep the anti-cheat more strict and updated more frequently, particularly for preventing movement cheats. I think there is a balance that needs to be found. Putting a stop to all movement related hacks is going to make the server much less enjoyable. Bases and stashes are always going to be far out. Travel is a natural part of 2B2T, and removing all speed related hacks will make traveling anywhere a grueling experience. I am not saying game-breaking speed hacks should be allowed, only a few hacks that make traveling more enjoyable with less effect on the server. 2B2T is now allegedly running the Grim anti-cheat. Grim AC is supposed to be very strict on movement hacks, but since the update, players have been using a bouncy elytra hack to travel at fast speeds on highways without using any rockets. I have also seen a few videos of people using a hack client known as Thunderhack, which has a few exploits including an elytra fly one. I am curious to see how 2B2T and the Grim anti-cheat will hold up against new exploits found and created by the 2B2T community. It is no longer possible to use hacks like name tags to see another player's item enchants, durability, or that player's health. I am not sure why this change was made. I can't think of a single good reason to make a change like this. These hacks are not game breaking, and they have become a part of the server's PvP and general gameplay. Hause also stated there is now a system in place to prevent duplication of items. I am not sure why this was even mentioned. A lot of people were rightfully confused and thought Hause was no longer going to allow duping on the server. Thankfully, Hausemaster later clarified duplication exploits have always been patched by the server. This is simply an enhancement added to further prevent these and to patch them faster. Duplicating is still allowed while possible. It is worth noting that since the server updated, it is possible to dupe the following items: carpets, rails, sand and gravel. Auto TNT dupers are also currently working. For some or other reason, the anti-cheat was changed to prevent X-ray hacks from working. There was a note with this change stating that it may not be a permanent change, and thankfully Hause has since reversed this, meaning X-ray hacks do now work on the server again. The hunger system has been slowed down quite a bit. Regeneration will linger for longer below normal hunger. This change is not really bad, nor is it really good. It just makes it easier for new players to escape spawn. Lastly, Hause removed the iconic green text from chat while also changing how death messages work. Death messages were not shown server-wide, but rather only to players in render distance of the person who died. Thankfully, Hause later reverted these changes. Both green text and death messages are back to how they used to be. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, when 2b2t updated, priority queue spiked to around 320 players, while normal queue spiked to around 730 players in length. This means over 1,000 people were actively trying to connect to the server. I think it is clear that people were hyped for the update and that players were excited to log on and play on an updated version of 2b2t. Unfortunately, this hype did not last very long. Players slowly found out about all of the changes and about some of the server's new rules. A single day after the server had updated, priority queue dropped back down to 1 or 2 players in length, while the regular queue dropped down to around 300 players in length. This clearly shows how unhappy the community was with the new server rules and changes. A Discord server called the 2b2t Union was started. This group encouraged people to submit refund requests for priority queue and to share proof of doing so in the server. A few days later, Celsi1, a well-known YouTuber who became popular through 2b2t, made a video stating that he was no longer going to play on 2b2t and that he would no longer create content about 2b2t. He also stated that he would be submitting a refund request for his priority queue access and encouraged his viewers to do the same. After watching this video, a large number of people would join the 2b2t Union and share proof of submitted refund requests. Celsi1 later released a second video when Hausemaster responded to his original refund request. The response was poorly written and clearly conveyed a dismissive and defensive stance. The reply also failed to address the specific concerns that Celsi1 had previously brought up. This video angered the community and even more refund requests were submitted. At some point it was noticed that refund requests were no longer getting accepted. A few days later, Hausemaster would respond to the community. On the 24th of August, just 10 days after the server had updated, Hausemaster released a new blog post to the 2b2t website. Here, Hause went on to clarify some of the changes he had made and the thoughts behind the changes. Hause stated the following: "The decisions were mine alone. Though they are understandably disliked and disagreed with by a large part of the community, you should know why I have made these decisions and the reasoning behind them." I will link his blog post in the video's credits for anyone that may want to read it. Hause finished his explanations with an apology stating, "I am truly sorry for the players who feel betrayed or disappointed, and for those who have lost a certain trust they had established. I apologize and may only ask for your forgiveness going forward, and I hope that if you still play on the server, you have a good time and that I may hopefully regain your trust." After posting an apology, Hause posted a new thread in the 2b2t Reddit. "Hello, Hausemaster here. This thread and poll will serve as initial discussion for a potential rollback to perform the update once again. This will be a significant rollback if done, not seen before in the server's history, and there may be a lot of player progression done already that would be lost. Below this there was a poll with 3 options: rollback without item economy reset, rollback without item economy reset and without chunk trimming, or no rollback at all. A day later, on the 26th of August, Hause posted a new blog post on the 2b2t website stating that the server has now performed a rollback to the 14th of August 1.12.2 copy of the world and updated to 1.19 once more. The server has now updated to 1.19 with the following changes removed: chunk culling, soft item economy reset. The majority of the community seemed to agree that the rollback with no item economy reset and with no chunk trimming was a major win. This drama was never going to end with everyone being satisfied, and a few players are still upset about the 10 days of progression that was lost, while a few others are upset that the soft item economy reset was reversed. But again, the majority of players seem to be happy that House had listened to the community and reversed his changes. 8 days after the rollback, Vincent1, a well-known YouTuber and streamer who makes some 2B2T related content, posted an amazing video covering all of this drama. At the end of his video, he included his own thoughts, stating,
Hausemaster could have handled this more easily if he announced the changes before the update. He made too many drastic changes too quickly, which is a recipe for disaster.
Now, 1 month after the original server update, I spoke to a few active 2B2T players to find out what they think about the server in its current condition. I asked them how the update affected their gameplay, and most agreed it had not really affected their gameplay, but the update did introduce a lot of grinding for new blocks and items. Everyone I spoke to agreed that 2B2T being updated to 1.19 was a positive thing even after all of the server drama. I saw a lot of well-written posts while researching for this video, and I wanted to voice a few of them here. Hausemaster, if you really are sorry and you really want to regain some trust, I would consider the following messages from your own community.
From now on, you owe us regular communication. We will leave again if you neglect the community like this.
The value of 2B2T is the map. This server is known worldwide for its elaborate spiderweb chunk, trails stemming from World Spion. By attempting to delete these trails, you are devaluing your brand and running the server into the ground.
House, if by chance you ever come across this video, thank you for listening to the community. I hope that you have taken this whole saga seriously and that you continue to keep in contact with the community going forward. Some of my best Minecraft memories are tied to my initial experiences on this server. 2B2T is truly one of a kind. There are plenty of Anarchy server alternatives, none share the rich history and lore that 2B2T offers. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you are still here, I assume you enjoyed the video, so please consider leaving a like and maybe even consider subscribing for more content like this in the future. Everyone should also join the official 2B2T News Discord server with the top link in the video's description. I'll see you all there. Once again, I have been your host Carlab, and thank you for watching this episode of 2B2T News.